Today we are going to be doing an estimation strategy as our APK. I need you to go ahead and list your estimation for how many gems are in the jar. There are 37 glass gems in the jar. Now, given your current estimation of 37 gems in the jar, how many gems do you estimate to be in this jar? There are 68 gems in this jar. Now, using what you know, how many are in this jar? There are 22 in that jar. And now, given what you know about the previous three, how many would you estimate to be in this jar? There are 51 gems in that jar. So now we're going to move on to what we are doing for today. And today we are going to use ratio tables to solve multi-step practical problems by scoring at least 2 out of 3 on an exit ticket. So, this is just some notes on ratio tables. It's a column filled with pairs of numbers that have the same ratio. So what they have done is they have extended the ratio out for 10 students in a class, 15 students in a class, or 20 students in a class, and the number of boys would increase from 3 to 6 to 9 to 12. And here are the fractions listed down here. So now we're going to take this information and solve some ratio tables of our own. So the first problem we're going to solve says at the SPCA shelter there are 12 dogs and 8 cats. If this ratio continues, how many dogs will be at the SPCA when there are 48 dogs in total? Now, we have a couple of options. The first option is to go ahead and extend it out in groups of 12. So if I double the pattern and I go to 24 dogs, I would also have to double the number of cats and I would get to 16. If I extended it out one more, I would go to 36 dogs, and that would give me 24 cats, and then I could go one more and get to 48 dogs, and that would give me 32 cats. So 32 would be my answer. Going back to what we did yesterday, we can also do it on the double number line, and we could start off with 8 cats to 12 dogs, and then extend out the pattern. So then it'd be 24 and 16, 36 and 24, and 48 and 32. So it's totally up to you. If you looked at it and said, oh, I know 12 times 4 is 48, you could have jumped straight to that one. So let's move on to question number 2. Here it says you have 2 flower beds in which to plant roses and tulips. You want the ratio of tulips to roses to be the same in each bed. You plant 10 tulips and 6 roses in the first bed. How many roses will you need to plant if you plant 64 plants? Well, here I'm talking about roses to the total, and there are 6 roses for every 64 plants. There are 6 roses for, I'm sorry, not 64, 16 plants. So I need to extend out that pattern to get to 64. So if I double it, I'm going to go to 32 and 12. If I add 16 again, I'm going to be at 48 and 18. And then if I go one step further, I get to 64 and 24. So I would have 24 roses for 64 plants in total. And again, you could do this on the number line. You would have 6 roses to 16 plants in total, And again, I got the total by adding 10 tulips and 16 roses for a total of 16 plants. And then I could go up one more, so 32 and 12, 18 and 48, and then 64 and 24. Now, the next two problems I'm going to go over are going to be on the back of your paper. Oh, actually, before I do that, I do want to go over how to set up the problem. A car dealership has the same ratio of sports cars to family cars on the lot. They keep 5 family cars to every 3 sports cars. If there are 9 sports cars on their lot, how many family cars do they have? So to set it up, it would be family cars to sports cars, and then I just write exactly what they give me. So 5 family cars to 3. And then you would just extend out the pattern to 9. So now flip over your paper to the back. We are going to go over what to do if they already give you the ratio table and you have to find the missing numbers. So the first one is miles run to time. And the first one I need is when I run 4 miles, what is my time? So if I go from 2 to 4, what did I multiply or divide by? I multiplied by 2. So if I do that at the top, I'm going to have to do that at the bottom. And 3 times 2 is 6. So now here at the bottom, they give me the extra number. So I need to figure out 3 times what gives me 9. And I know that 3 times 3 gives me 9. So if I do that at the bottom, I'm going to have to do that at the top. And 2 times 3 is going to give me 6. And I'm going to do the next problem that's on the back of the page. It says the number of apples and the weight in ounces. So we're going to do the same procedure again. To go from 5 to 10, we multiplied or divided by what? We multiplied by 2, so I'm going to need to do the same thing at the bottom. And 8 times 2 is going to give me 16. Then, to get the star at the top, 8 times what is 24? 8 times 3 is 24. So 5 times 3 is going to give me how much? That would be 15. And then finally, 5 times what is 20? That would be times 4. So then I would do 8 times 4, and 8 times 4 is going to give me 32. You need to finish the rest of the worksheet, front and back. I will be on GoGuardian because I'm in all-day planning, so I will be checking up to make sure you're doing your work. It will be graded. With about 10 minutes left in class, you're going to need to turn in your work so it can be graded and start your exit ticket. Your exit ticket is in the Unit 2 folder under today's date. Today is the 22nd of October. Behave, make sure I get a good note from you, and I will see you tomorrow.